Hello, so you're Pan? So what's basically happening to your dad is that he's going under surgery to get a new liver, and your dad, 47M, is getting a liver transplant because his diet is failing to comply with his genetic disorder. Being in the Great White North, we have a lot of maple-flavored things, like candies, bacon, and vapes. But imagine you pee out maple syrup. Now, having an infinite source of maple syrup is great and all, but it also means that your body can't process certain amino acids properly, including leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Because of this, proteins build up in the blood along with their byproducts, damaging the brain and organs. So why does this happen? Maple syrup urine disease, also known as MSUD, is this rare single gene mutation happening in 1 out of 185,000 babies, where variation among these genes happens to become abnormal. And essentially, they're genes that direct the production of enzymes to digest these certain amino acids, which then are later used. And usually, these genes are passed down instead of popping out of nowhere. It follows Mendelian patterns, and according to Mendel, diseases are a recessive trait, and recessive traits don't usually pass down with a Y chromosome. Even if you have a recessive gene, it won't be apparent because you need a set of 2 to make it affect you. Your mom isn't even a carrier of this gene, meaning that you're not either. And because you're a boy, you have a Y chromosome making up for 1/2 of your gene set. So recessive genes are solely dependent on your mom for the X side. Now, let's say you're a girl. Then there would be a 100% chance that the X chromosome is present in the genes. So how do you know if you have MSUD? Well, first, you can sniff parts of yourself by sniffing your sweat, urine, or even earwax. See if they have a maple or sweet smell to them. Another obvious step is to pee in a cup and see if it resembles maple syrup. Now, these next symptoms are more applicable to babies and little kids, but include spasms, vomiting, stunted growth, difficulty in gaining weight, and seizures. Being a hereditary disease, MSUD interferes with child development, especially infantry, and can cause problems because breast milk has quite a bit of the listed amino acids. So, it's safer and easier to monitor the baby as it grows. The earlier the doctor can diagnose it and get it on a specialized formula. So how is it professionally diagnosed? Well, aside from sniffing the baby, blood tests are done to check the level of amino acids. But if the form of MSUD is milder, kids might not show symptoms until much later in their life. So how do you treat it? Doctors would prescribe a low-protein diet that doesn't contain much of the 3 amino acids, and you would follow it for the rest of your life. Or you can switch out your liver with a working one that can digest these amino acids, which is prescribed to kids with more severe MSUD, and also what your dad is doing. Now, what you can do to prevent your kids from having MSUD in the future is to have their mom be someone from outside of your community. Because areas with high rates of babies having MSUD all marry each other from their communities, such as the Mennonites. Anyways, your dad fell off his diet, so his doctors recommended him to get a transplant instead because his liver was already ruined. Now you guys can eat ribs and bond at your local smokehouse. Yay!